It's Tiberius, ready for the stream. Web app hacker with the ultimate dream. Cracking through the code, breaking all the walls. He's the one you call when security falls. With his auto recon tool, he's got the keys. Helping students pass their OSCPs. Privilege, escalation, Linux or Windows. Tiberius the master, wherever he goes. Light up the screen, feel the hype, let it flow. Tiberius in the house, everybody knows. All the hacks, all the tips, all the tricks. Get ready, y'all, it's about to get lit. Tiberius, the king of the code. When he hits the screen, watch the data explode. Hacking through the night with a style so bold. Tiberius, the legend is told. He's done it all, from privilege escalation to the system sprawl. YouTube, Twitch, he's the mentor supreme. Tune into his stream, join the dream team. Web app challenges, watch him dominate. No security flaw can ever escape. From SQL injections to XSS, Tiberius the hacker, always the best. Light up the screen, feel the hype, let it flow. Tiberius in the house, everybody knows. All the hacks, all the tips, all the tricks. Get ready, y'all, it's about to get lit. Tiberius, the king of the code. When he hits the screen, watch the data explode. Hacking through the night with a style so bold. Tiberius, the legend is told. Over 10 years in the game, he's a pro. Creating courses, making knowledge grow. From Udemy to his own institute. Tiberius the mentor, he's resolute. Tiberius, the king of the code. When he hits the stream, watch the data explode. Hacking through the night with a style so bold. Tiberius, the legend is told. So get hyped, get ready, it's about to go live. Tiberius on the mic, in the zone, feel the vibe. Hacking through the night, bringing all the heat. Tiberius, he's the one to beat.
Hello, chat. Hello. Alright, let me put some actual music on. There we go. Alright. I feel like I'm a bit low down. What a song. I know, right? Amazing. Am I a bit low? I don't know. So, I think I figured out the camera issue. So if you're here for the last stream, my mic working? Good, okay. Yes, if you hear the last stream, the camera sort of just crashed. Oh no. I think it was... I think what happened was it overheated. And I changed a few settings. So there's a setting which basically it automatically turns off if it gets too hot. There's a setting which says, hey, you can go a bit hotter before you shut off. So I have that on. But also I think the other problem was I was technically... I had it set to 4K mode. Because it records in 4K. So I had it set to 4K mode. Whereas the stream doesn't really do 4K. The stream is literally just, it's basically 1080p. So it was, OBS was basically shrinking it down anyway. So what I have right now is I have it running in 1080p. I think it still looks crisp though. Like it should technically look crisp. But maybe I have to angle it down. I'll sort that out another day. Right now, it's fine. I don't really care. As long as it looks good and it's not going to crash. I did for like an hour and a half last night. Or the night before. Maybe it was the night before. I did just run the camera like for an hour and a half in OBS. Just to make sure it wasn't going to like get ridiculous. So, yeah. Hopefully we fixed it. Hopefully. If it crashes again, I have no idea what we're going to do. Probably return the damn camera. But, like, I was talking to Ali. Ali helped me, like... So, this is the same camera that Ali uses. I don't really know why it would crash now. I imagine it just got too hot. So, yeah, how is everybody going? How's everybody doing? How's the new role going? It's great. I love it here. Nespy is awesome. Absolutely, just fantastic bunch of people. Really laid back company for a mid-sized company, borderline on like getting to quite large. Super laid back company, really nice people to work for. So yeah, really happy. Yeah. Also finding a bunch of really cool vulnerabilities, which is nice. Always good to hit the ground running and also, find stuff. That's kind of good. Burned out from pen testing, vacation in 2 days. I get the feeling my vacation starts in 2 weeks. Hell yeah. This time next week I will be in... No, not this time in 2 weeks I'll be in Vegas for Defcon. Yes. So that's cool. Hoping to meet... I'm going full-blown this year. Just... I want to meet as many people as possible. I want to do as much stuff as possible, So hopefully I'll see a bunch of you. Vegas? Yeah, Defcon. I love Vegas. Vegas is cool. I'm not one of these people who, hates Vegas. I think it's awesome. But we are going to talk about CrowdStrike again. Because some stuff went down last night, early in the morning, at basically, I think it was 2:30 a.m., maybe 2 a.m. I was still up for reasons. But, yeah. Some stuff went down with CrowdStrike again, and then some other stuff went down later on today, which was quite funny. So we'll talk about that. Can't make Defcon, a bunch of stuff planned. Defcon will be... Injection sec, nice, I will meet you, my friend. Yes, we'll have to do this. Post-paid pen tester. So it was not null pointer. No, it turns out it wasn't null pointer. But we kind of twigged that already when Tavis Ormandy from Google basically tore apart the stupid analysis that somebody did. We kind of covered that on Monday, to be honest. We are going to talk about the Uber Eats gift cards. That was the funny thing. So there's been an update to that as well. There was an update literally about half an hour ago to that. Anyway, let's start with marbles because I feel like everybody likes marbles. So we'll start with a marble race. Where's my button? There we go. You know what? Let's do a standard map. We haven't done a standard map in so long. Okay, so if you're on Twitch chat, you can participate by typing !play. Otherwise, unfortunately, you cannot play. This is a limitation with this game. I'll be doing Trace Labs CTF next weekend, but not going to personal Defcon. I don't like Trace Labs for a few reasons related to while I was at TCM. So I don't do anything with Trace Labs anymore. But have fun. I'm sure it's going to be a fun CTF. I hope they don't screw over another team. So, I haven't seen anyone talking about it on X. So many people have been talking about it on X. All right. So, where does this map go? Okay, interesting. Oh, I think we have played this one. I kind of remember this one. It's kind of cool over here, though. All right. 38 seconds, ! Play in chat if you want to play. Only in Twitch chat, unfortunately. Very sorry. Do we win a Mars bar? If you meet me at if you win and you meet me at Defcon, I will give you a Mars bar. How about that? All right, you know the question we're going to ask first, chat, right? You know the question. The one question we always ask. What's the one question we ask, chat? Question we ask is, who is going to be the first to find the hole? Yes, exactly. Ascertainment. Who's? It's not a question of are they going to find the hole. It's who's going to find the hole. Who's going to be the first person to find the hole? And it's Bob. Bob, straight out the gate, finding that hole. Oh, I love streaming. Anyway, okay, Bob and Sergio. Oh. It looks like Fixit42 and Agent 57 are in first and second place here. Agent 57, can they make it down? No, Fixit. Oh, hang on, Zodiac. God, there's a lot of lead changes in this map. Zodiac finds the cannon straight through the eye of the storm. Now the question is, can they finish? Oh no. Fixit42 is back in the lead. Are they going to make it? They missed both them boost the boosters. Believe has a slightly more speed. Very slightly more speed. And this is where it could all end. Somebody could clinch it right here by slipping through, and Nuben is about to do just that. Out of nowhere, Nuben takes the lead and wins it. Nuben, if you're coming to Defcon, my friend, you have just earned yourself a Mars bar. Please tell me if you're coming to Defcon, because I will actually buy a Mars bar. If you say you're not coming to Defcon, I just won't buy the Mars bar. But if you come to Defcon, I will definitely buy a Mars bar. And give it to you. Pretty good reason to come to Defcon, to be honest. Getting a Mars bar from Tibbs. Well done. You wish. Ah, no Mars bars, apparently. Oh boy, that's not good. Alright. Let's switch back to the screen. Okay. So, if you were on Ending with Ali's stream earlier, let me give a shout out to Ending with Ali, actually. There we go. If you were on Ending with Ali's stream earlier, she read over this because I sent it to her, and she actually drew a diagram of how the whole update process worked. Her take on this is more journalistic than mine is going to be. By which I mean, I make certain assumptions based on my reading of this. So have a lot of people on Twitter. So I feel fairly confident. She's right. I'll give her credit. There's one thing that I'm gonna say here that is not explicitly mentioned in this. However, I personally think they hinted it extremely well. If you kind of read between the lines, there's something they mention that they don't mention later, and I think that sort of reveals some interesting stuff. But to Ali's credit, they don't say it explicitly, so maybe we're wrong. I don't think we're wrong, because I don't think how it would work any otherwise. But okay, this is a document that they've been updating quite a lot, by the way. So they published this preliminary post-incident review. Actually, I should zoom in, shouldn't I? That'd probably be a better thing to do. God, this is awful. What the hell? Hang on. Okay, I guess this isn't going to move. That's really annoying. Can I just do... Is this better? Reader view? That is better, isn't it? Alright, we're going to do this. Love it. Okay. Right, the preliminary post-incident review, the PIR, which is a term I did not know until yesterday. Alright. So if you've been just, I don't know, somewhere other than the internet the past few days, basically what happened was CrowdStrike is an EDR. It's CrowdStrike Falcon, I should say. Falcon is the EDR. And basically, they pushed out an update to it automatically, and as soon as all the EDRs over the world downloaded it and installed the update, it blue screened to death every Windows machine that had Falcon running on it. It blue screened it so bad that if you rebooted and loaded Windows again, like just normally, it would blue screen instantly. All right, this was basically a boot loop. So you basically, how you solved it was you had to reboot into safe mode so that Falcon wasn't running. You then had to delete a sys, like one of these .sys files, and then that was fine. But you had to do it on every single operating system. You had to have access if you had everything encrypted, right? So if you use BitLocker, right, it's Windows disk encryption. You had to type the encryption key in. Like you had to physically be at the machine. There was no remote way of doing this. So this caused havoc with everything. It's still causing havoc. Anyway, so there's a few things here. We will skip over this. It's basically just what happened. Like here's how we fixed it. So CrowdStrike delivers security content configuration updates to our sensors. That's the Falcon sensor, right? In two ways. Sensor content that is shipped with our sensor directly, and rapid response content that is designed to respond to the changing threat landscape at operational speed. What this effectively means. So you have the Falcon sensor. All right, that's a program that's running constantly. It's basically kernel level. And that's the thing that's actually doing the detection. That's the endpoint detection stuff. So obviously they have a bunch of functionality coded directly into the sensor, right? Because it needs to be able to run that code to detect stuff. So what they're basically saying here is there are two types of content for Falcon. There's sensor content, which is, hey, when you update Falcon to a latest version, that content is implemented. But then there's this thing called rapid response content. That's not built into the sensor, but what it is, instead, is kind of like a config. It's like a fancy config file. All right, and when the sensor downloads this config file, it reads the config file and the config file basically says, "Hey, I want you to use the sensor content that you like, the functionality that you already have, but in this specific way." All right. So think of it as basically instructions on how to already use the content that's built into it. And this is important because it turns out there are kind of like there are a few bugs in this whole thing, but effectively the actual bug that crashed everything was already present in the sensor, right? It was triggered by one of these rapid response content files. Are you on Twitch? Yeah, I stream to 4 different platforms. I stream to Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So the bug that crashed the system was triggered by this, but it actually existed in the sensor already and had been since February. All right. It's basically, I think it's a runtime bug, right? So it's based on, it'll only trigger in certain instances when it's provided with malformed content, effectively. Anyway, that's all you need to know about that. So, this is what this is basically saying. So, the sensor has these things called template types. And the template types are the functionality that is executed at the kernel level to actually find stuff. Okay? All sensor content, including template types, go for extensive QA process, which includes automated testing, manual testing, validation, and rollout steps. This is the key thing here. All right? So, the sensor, Falcon sensor, is extensively tested. They apparently missed this bug, which is, happens. But the point is, they do test the sensor. And that extensive QA, automated testing, manual testing, validation, and rollout. Rollout steps is important. It's important to remember that they call out this rollout steps. What I think they mean here is that they test it in actual staging environments, right? First, so they have a lab, right, somewhere. And what they do is they push the update into Falcon sensors that are running in that lab on like Windows, on Linux, on Mac, etc. They push the update to the staging environment first. They do a lot of testing in there, make sure it works okay, If it works, then they roll it out to customers. Okay? That's what I take from this bit. And that's normal. That's actually how it's supposed to be. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. We don't really need to go over this, but stage sets a role that starts with dog fooding internally at CrowdStrike, followed by early adopters. Here's the point, right? So the rollout, they start doing it internally, and then they give it to early adopters, and then generally available to customers. Cool. All right. Rapid response content is used to perform a variety of behavioral pattern matching operations on the sensor using a highly optimized engine. It's a representation of fields and values with associated filtering, stored in a proprietary binary file that contains configuration data. It is not code or a kernel driver. This is the key thing. I think if you're a programmer, you can maybe think of this as classes and serialized objects. Like, it sounds to me, reading this as a programmer, that the template types here you can think of as classes, right? And the rapid response content is basically a serialized object. It's an instance of that class, right? So that does something, but it's serialized data. And we all know what problem deserialization has, because if you have issues with the serialized data, then you can really cause havoc with stuff. Let me just be clear. I'm not saying it's serialized data at all. Okay, I'm just trying to create like a metaphor. Is it a metaphor or a simile? I'm trying to, like, in the programming world, it's kind of similar to this. It's not exactly. I don't think there's going to be any kind of exact comparison. But I think it helps me to think of it like that. Okay. Rapid response content is delivered as template instances, which are instantiations of a given template type. Actually, they've updated this since earlier, I think, because I didn't read this bit. But yeah, this is basically what I'm saying, right? So you think of a template type as a class. An instance of a class is an object. These template instances are objects. When they're files, an object that's represented as a file is a serialized object, right? So it's kind of similar. Each template instance maps to specific behaviors for the sensor to observe, detect, or prevent. Template instances have a set of fields that can be configured to match the desired behavior. In other words, template types represent a sensor capability that enables new telemetry and detection. Their runtime behavior is configured dynamically. Runtime behavior is configured dynamically. Those 5 words are extremely important here. Okay? Because remember, they do testing on this stuff. They test the template types. That's what they've set up here. They do extensive testing of template types. Okay? But if the runtime behavior is configured by If the runtime behavior is configured dynamically by the template instance, they need to be testing that as well. Were they? Right. Rapid response content testing and deployment. Rapid response content is delivered as content configuration updates to the Falcon sensor. There are 3 primary systems: the content configuration system, the content interpreter, and the sensor detection engine. The content configuration system is part of the Falcon platform in the cloud, while the content interpreter and sensor detection engine are components of the Falcon sensor. The content configuration system is used to create template instances. So this sounds like they have like an automated process where maybe one of their researchers puts some values in, and this CCS thing just creates a new template instance. Okay, so these template instances are validated and deployed to the sensor through a mechanism called channel files. Do you note what word is kind of missing from this half of the sentence here? The template instances which are validated and deployed to the sensor through a mechanism called channel files. What word is missing there? What word would you really love to see in that sentence? Anyone in chat? Because this is where I think... yes, Yellowfen, Jaywalkop. They really should do validated, tested and deployed. And the fact they don't mention it, I think, is kind of key. Anyway, the sensor stores and updates its content configuration data through channel files, which we all understood that because that was the whole thing you had to delete. The .sys.sys files were the channel files. The content interpreter on the sensor reads the channel file and interprets the rapid response content, enabling the sensor detection engine to observe, detect, or prevent malicious activity, depending on the customer's policy configuration. Right? The content interpreter is designed to gracefully handle exceptions from potentially problematic content. This is why I'm talking about there is a bug on the sensor itself. All right? So, technically speaking, they look like they actually thought ahead, right? So it's designed to gracefully handle exceptions. You don't want it to be tested through channel files? I read it differently. The channel files are just how the content is deployed to systems. So by test, I mean QA'd. Made sure that there isn't anything that's going to break stuff. Okay? The channel files are the things that are downloaded. Right? Once they're downloaded, you shouldn't be doing any testing. Before they're put into channel files, they should have been tested thoroughly. Anyway, the content interpreter is designed to gracefully handle exceptions. That's good. That's actually how it should work. Newly released template types are stress tested. Template types, remember. Okay? Not instances. Are stress tested across many aspects: resource utilization, system performance impact, event volume. For each template type, a specific template instance is used to stress test the template type by matching against any possible value of the associated data fields to identify adverse system interactions. That's good. Template instances are created and configured through the use of the content configuration system. They mentioned that again. They repeat themselves a lot, by the way. Which includes the content validator. Here's the thing. Content validator that performs validation checks. Remember, this is all happening at CrowdStrike. This is all happening at CrowdStrike. The content validator that performs validation checks on the content before it is published. Okay? But again, it's a validator. It's not a testing thing. It's not doing any testing other than, hey, is this well formed? Right? Does this match a specific, if you're doing like XML validation, right? XML validation doesn't care if you put weird data in your XML, as long as that weird data is formatted correctly. Validation is completely different to actually testing whether the content is, not going to cause issues. I think that's important. Anyway, timeline of events. So back in February 28th, a new version of the sensor 7.11, or 7.11, however you want to say that, was made generally available to customers, introducing a new IPZ template type to detect novel attack techniques that abuse named pipes. This release followed all sensor content testing procedures outlined above in the sensor content section. But what I think they don't say here, and this might be where I'm reading into it a little bit more than I should, I think they basically deployed a bug here. I think there was a bug in this sensor. Because again, based on what they say here, the content interpreter, which works before the sensor, right? It works on the sensor, is designed to gracefully handle exceptions, which it didn't do. Template type stress testing. On March 5th, they tested this new template type, right? Which was supposed to be used named pipes. That was executed in their staging environment, which consists of a variety of operating systems and workloads. The template type passed the stress test and was validated for use. Okay, fine. Template instance release. On March the 5th, following a successful stress test, they released a template instance into production as part of the content configuration update. Remember, this template instance may have undergone rigorous testing. They kind of allude to it up here, where they use a specific template instance to stress test. So that might have had rigorous testing. Subsequently, 3 additional IPC template instances were deployed between April 8th and April 24th. These template instances performed as expected in production. Here's where everything broke. On July 19th, 2 additional IPC template instances were deployed due to a bug in the content validator. Thanks for following. I'd hack that. All right. Due to a bug in the content validator, one of the 2 template instances passed validation, despite containing problematic content data. Okay. So it was validated, but it still contained data which would crash the sensor. Based on the testing performed before the initial deployment of the template type on March 5th, 2024, trust in the checks performed in the content validator and previous successful IPC template instance deployments, these instances were deployed into production. If there's the most powerful sentence in this, this might be it. Basically, they were like, well, it worked before, so we're just going to trust it's going to work again. Kind of. They were like, well, we tested the template type, and the content validator said it's okay, and the 4 things we've published previously have been okay, so these should be fine too, right? When received by the sensor and loaded into the content interpreter, the problematic content resulted in out-of-bounds memory read triggering an exception. This unexpected exception could not be gracefully handled, resulting in a Windows operating system crash. Remember,
Amadubas_light just redeemed word ban content.
Great, thank you. Hang on a minute. Where's the bit about the exceptions? I'm gonna search for it. Exception. I can't type now. The content interpreter is designed to gracefully handle exceptions. However, there was an unexpected exception. This is why I think there are 2 bugs here. There's clearly the bug that they mentioned, which is the one in the content validator. But I think there was also a bug in the sensor. Because, remember, even if the content validator says that it's okay, right? It still shouldn't crash because it has this exception handler which should deal with potentially problematic content. I just said content again, but the timer hasn't started, so hang on a minute. Let's actually get the timer. Uh, 5 minutes. Have I got it configured all right? All right, there we go. It starts now. I need to put the banned word in as well, actually. Wait, I'll restart. God. All right. Banned word is now content. Save that. I got to add it to my list of banned words because otherwise people will freaking tell me to do it again. Okay, and let's enable the banned word. And we'll start the timer. All right, now it's banned. Okay, so I think there are 2 bugs. This interpreter,
thank you for following,
is designed to gracefully handle exceptions from potentially problematic stuff. Right? And it didn't. That's a bug. But the other thing that they say here is they, due to the validator, so they validated this new template instance. It passed validation despite containing problematic data. And then they say, well, everything worked previously, so we're good. Deployed into production. There is no mention here of deploying these template instances into any kind of staging environment. At all. You'd think if that happened, they would explicitly call this out. Which is what I'm saying. And I will repeat myself. Ali, ending with Ali on stream earlier, said they don't explicitly say that they didn't test it, therefore you can't really say that. She has journalistic integrity, I don't. I think it's extremely suspicious, given that they called out their staging environment earlier, that they don't mention, right, a staging environment in between this bit and this bit. Ali's great. I love Ali. And that honestly kind of makes sense, because everybody was like, the main question everyone was asking is, how is this not caught? The parser in the interpreter on the sensor, well, the sensor should be performing proper. And yeah, exactly. That's why I think there are two bugs. There are definitely two bugs, I think. There's a bug on the sensor, which obviously caused the crash. And there's the bug in the validator, which basically said this content is... Fuck. All right. All right. Well done. Well done. You got me. All right. That lasted 2.5 minutes. All right. We're going to do a marble race with a giveaway now. God, I was so close. Let's do a community map. Let's do one that hopefully doesn't last too long. Come on. I want one that's like a minute 30 or something. Give me a minute. Let's order by average time. Just choose one. That's going the wrong way. This one. Nice try. Appreciate it. Thank you. At least I never have to say that word again. All right. Exclamation point player. This is for a giveaway. This will be a voucher. Yeah. So I get where Ali's coming from. I respect Ali. She does threat. She hosts Threatwire. She writes Threatwire every week, so she has to have some kind of journalistic integrity, and I absolutely massively respect her for that. Honestly, I don't see how this could have happened if they were testing it. The options, right? And I think all of us kind of knew this. The options over the weekend when we were discussing this were either they didn't test it, right? Or didn't test it properly, or they tested it, and for some strange reason, nobody saw the crash in the staging, right? Like that, those were the two options. There really isn't another option, I think. Because if you do test it, you'd also have a deployment. Yeah, okay, yeah. So actually, no, you're fair. All right. So there was a third option, which was that the file, right, the content file, that was tested and passed the tests in staging was somehow changed before it was deployed. You're right. Yeah. No, I will redact my previous statement. Yeah. There was a possibility, though it does seem like the most remote, that for some reason after testing the file, it was modified before it was deployed. So yeah, that could have happened as well. I used to work for a company, not an IT company, and even they had at least 10 VMs. Yeah, I mean, it's basic stuff. Like, I don't do this stuff, but even I would never, especially with kernel level stuff. You what? Yeah, no, I've got it in my list. I'll give it to you after the stream. Oh, I don't think we actually know who is winning, because this is one of those maps that goes back on itself. We will talk about the gift card in a minute, because I think there's some new information that came out about 20 minutes before I started streaming about the gift card. They should have fuzz tested the content template to ensure it could handle garbage data being... The thing is, they do. They mentioned specifically that they do testing. What I think is that they missed a bug. Havex, well done. Winning a voucher. What do you want? 1 month of Try Hack Me Hacked box. Was that real? It was real. I will talk about it literally after we come back from the race, because that was the other funny fucking thing that happened. 1 month Try Hack Me. Excellent. But there's been some misinformation because it was so confusing. So we'll go over that in a minute as well. Oh, so close to the record as well. World record is 58. Did it in 1. All right. So, the other reason I think... We turn off the banned word, don't do that again. The other reason I think I'm right when I'm saying that they didn't do any staging testing is look at their how do we prevent this from happening again. So, improve the rapid contents testing by using testing types such as local developer testing. Like, some of this I think they just put as like, hey, here's the plan now, rather than this is what we're going to do from now on, right? Because if they aren't doing local developer testing already, that's fucking insane. Content update and rollback testing, stress testing, fuzzing and fault injection, stability testing, content interface testing. Add additional validation checks to the content validator. Enhance existing error handling in the content interpreter. Here's the thing. Because all of these, they're like, improve, right? Improve means, hey, maybe we're doing this already, but we could do better. This says implement. Right, they use the word add here, which means that they're actually putting more checks in, right? Improve means they already do this, they're going to be better about it. Enhance, again, means that. Implement is a totally different word that, to me, reads that we weren't doing this at all. Implement a staggered deployment strategy in which updates are gradually deployed to larger portions of the sensor base, starting with a canary deployment. If you don't know what a canary deployment is, a canary when they used to mine, well, I guess they still mine coal, but when they mined coal back in like the Victorian era, right, the 1800s or whatever, because of toxic gases in a mine, they would send down a canary in a cage, and then they would leave it down there for a few minutes. They would bring it straight back up. If it was dead, they knew, uh-oh, there's probably gases down there that we shouldn't breathe. A canary deployment is something that you do in staging, right? So it's basically, it's designed to, hey, deploy it into a canary environment or a staging environment and see if anything bad happens. Because if it does, then we know, uh-oh, we should probably not deploy this. It worked to treat the canaries working. The canaries probably didn't know what the hell was going on. Yeah. So here's the thing. The fact they say implement, not improve, not add to, not enhance. The fact they say implement here suggests they aren't doing this at all, and I think that is matched by the rest of the article, where they do mention they have deployment strategies for the sensor itself. They have deployment strategies for the sensor itself, but they never mention deployment strategies for the actual content. And that's the thing. Improve monitoring for both sensor and system performance, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's good. Provide customers with a greater control over the delivery of rapid response content updates by allowing granular selection of when and when these updates are deployed. That's always good. There were some people on Twitter who were telling me that, oh, they're deploying stuff on a Friday, like a Friday evening before the weekend. Like, what the hell are they doing? I disagree with that take, and here's the reason why. This wasn't just a massive sensor update. Okay, those have always been, you can automatically do them, and we'll deploy them during good hours, or you can skip them, right? Those have always been up to the consumer. But the point of an EDR, as opposed to an AV, is it's supposed to react to evolving threats, right? Attackers don't take breaks on the weekend. If anything, they might be working harder on the weekend because they know that IT support is probably minimal. So it's actually a good thing that CrowdStrike were doing these updates, right? Several times a day, what they basically said. That's a good thing for an EDR. I disagree with people saying they shouldn't push updates over weekends or late night on Friday. Disagree with that entirely. If you are trying to protect computer networks against emerging threats, you should be pushing checks. The issue is they made these massive assumptions that these checks couldn't possibly crash anything because they were just using features that were already been tested on the sensor, right? They tested these features back before February when they were deployed. They were operating under a really bad assumption, you know, with 2020 vision, right? With hindsight, that their sensor was fine. So I think what they did was reasonable. I don't think we should be criticizing them for pushing updates. It's good now that they are actually allowing more granular selection of them. That's great. Consumer choice is always good, right? Now people can decide, hey, do we want to be protected, you know, immediately, or do we want some time and potentially put our network at risk? Provide content update details via release notes, which customers subscribe to. Again, fine. Cool. All right, let's talk about what everyone else wants to talk about. CrowdStrike offers a $10 apology gift card to say sorry for outage. This made its rounds a few hours ago because it was written by TechCrunch. TechCrunch are a reputable news source. So when we saw this, we were like, oh, holy shit, what? And it just got worse from there. And then it got slightly better. So there are some takes that people had that were slightly wrong. But anyway. So here's the thing. And to be fair, TechCrunch actually never, I don't think, stated that they were giving them to customers. They basically said it's offering its partners a $10 Uber Eats gift card as an apology, according to several people who say they received the gift. They link to a lot of people saying this on Twitter, as well as a source who also received one. So here's the email, and it does say CrowdStrike partners. Okay. We recognize the additional work that the July 19th incident has caused, and for that we send our heartfelt thanks and apologies for the inconvenience, blah, blah, blah. To express our gratitude, your next cup of coffee or late night snack is on us. Access your Uber Eats credit by using code, and then there was a code. The email was sent from a CrowdStrike email address in the name of Daniel Bernard, the company's chief business officer, according to a screenshot of the email. According to one post, in the United Kingdom, the voucher was worth £7.75, or roughly $10 at today's exchange rate. On Wednesday, some of the people who had posted about the gift card, this is where it gets worse, said that when they went to redeem the offer, they got an error message saying the voucher had been cancelled. It's just a one clusterfuck after another for CrowdStrike at the moment. But here's the thing. When TechCrunch checked the voucher, the Uber Eats page provided an error message saying the gift card had been cancelled by the issuing party and is no longer valid. Okay, so here's where it gets slightly better for CrowdStrike. There is a silver lining. So the CrowdStrike spokesperson, because this wasn't in the article when I originally read this article, this paragraph was replaced by we reached out to CrowdStrike, who didn't have an immediate reaction. Okay, that's pretty standard. So Kevin Bernacchi, I don't know, confirmed to TechCrunch that the company sent the gift cards. We did send these to our teammates and partners who have been helping customers. So this is the silver lining. CrowdStrike weren't just giving customers $10 gift cards after crashing all of their Windows systems. All right, it's not that bad. So they gave them to teammates and partners, not customers. They explicitly mention customers here and not over here. So that's good. But then, unfortunately, Uber flagged it as fraud because of high usage rates. So that it kind of just goes down. It goes a little bit worse for them. So the problem, I think, what people were saying was they basically just had like I don't know how Uber Eats works with businesses, but I assume what you can do is you can generate a single token, like a single voucher that can be used once per account, but it's the same voucher for everybody, right? So it's a voucher with, like, let's say, 1,000 redemptions, and it can only be used once per account. And what they did, what I imagine a lot of people did, was they just sent it to their friends, maybe. And Uber Eats basically were like, "Oh, no, that's bad. We're having a lot of traffic on this one voucher. Probably should disable it." So yeah, why has my music suddenly gone off? Oh, because it logged me out. Great. So you see what I mean? It's not that bad, all right? When we were initially joking about this on Twitter, and to be honest, it is kind of funny. But it's also not as bad as, oh my god, were they really that tone deaf that they decided to send customers $10? So yeah. Any questions? Can't install Ferox Buster and Power for some reason. It's stopping auto recon. You can configure auto recon to use a different tool. If you do, maybe I should just write it out. If you do --dirbuster.tool equals GoBuster. Can I get, like, Notepad up? There we go. If you do auto recon, that'll work. You can also set this in the config file. So in the config file, you'll see that I think there already is like a Dirbuster section like that. The config file, config.toml, will have like a section like this, and if you do tool equals, and then you have to use quotes. If you do that, it'll work. And then you won't need to do this. This is just how you do it on the command line. This is how you do it in the config file. But this should work, and you can. There's multiple ones. If you don't like GoBuster, I believe it works with dir search. You can use FFUF. I forget if you can use WFuzz. There's like 5 you can use. There's a few. All right. Can we use auto recon on the CPDS exam? I have no idea. I don't know if there are restrictions. Okay. Question, and people don't like my take on this. Why are we putting single box Windows machines into critical operations without failure, backup, recovery, reboot something as a failback? I think the issue. I think the issue is. Windows is always going to be around in critical operations. It's a big. It's a big product. The issue with the whole, failure stuff is, if you don't also protect the fallover boxes, then you might just suffer the same problems, right? Like, ideally, your fallover boxes should be configured the same way, so they would have, as soon as they boot up to replace the boxes that go down, they would have downloaded the Falcon updates as well and crashed. And then you've got more problems. Time to recovery allows for something else in the middle. Yeah, I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I don't think it's a Windows issue.
Gratitude dispensed.
Like, this isn't really a Windows issue. Jackson, thank you for resubscribing for 12 months. Very much appreciated, my friend. But I mean, this is gonna be talked about for months, I imagine. Because things are still suffering. I'm actually kind of worried because, hang on. Let me get the actual news site over here. I'm kind of worried because most of the airlines have recovered. Okay, most of the airlines have actually recovered their systems. Delta has not. Delta has cancelled more flights over the weekend than they cancelled apparently last year and the year before. And they're still cancelling them. Chat. Guess which airline I'm flying to Vegas on in 2 weeks' time. Am I fucked? I think I'll be fine. If they haven't fixed this in 2 weeks, I think it's gonna be I don't know. Yeah. The reason I fly Delta is twofold. I fly Delta. I've been a Delta rewards member for over a decade now. Possibly almost as close to 2. But I like Delta. I had no bad experience with Delta. Yeah, they're a bit more costly than other airlines. But I've had no bad experiences myself. And they also do the only flight which doesn't leave a ridiculous hour in the morning or a ridiculous hour late at night from Boston to Las Vegas. Like, for some reason, if you want to go from Boston to Vegas, your options are a 6 a.m. flight from multiple airlines, or like a 6 p.m. flight, which will get you in at some stupid, like, even with, like, you know, the changing time zone, still gets you in at a stupid hour in the evening. Well, it's fine, but the thing is, I want to meet people on the Wednesday of Defcon. So if I could fly out on the Tuesday, I guess, but then I'm still getting in late. It's going to be annoying. I don't like traveling on the Tuesday. I prefer traveling on the Wednesday. And so, yeah, that's the issue. There's literally no flights after about 9 a.m. in the morning all the way up until like 6. Sorry, I should restate. There are some, but they all have stupid layovers, and I don't like layovers. I really hate layovers. I hate layovers. I will try and avoid layovers if I possibly can help it. So the only flight I really have is the 9 a.m. flight, which Delta does. And 9 a.m. is alright. I can handle 9 a.m., even though I'm going to have to wake up at 6 or something just to get to the, figure out how to get to the airport. But, I'm in Boston. I'm not in Boston. I'm nearish Boston. I'm like, it takes me like 45 to 50 minutes to drive into Boston. But Boston is the closest. Well, technically it's not. Technically Providence is the closest international airport, but Providence apparently doesn't fly to Vegas. So I basically have to go to Boston. Yeah. So that's fun. Oh yeah, and I found this other one. This is the cybersecurity subreddit. A lot of people were saying I didn't. So this is why I think it got confusing, right, with this $10 gift card. People saying they didn't get one. This is not true, speaking as a client, because at the time people were assuming it was given out to customers. So this kind of makes sense now. Haven't got one. I got one. The team are good. The weird part is we're not even customers. See, this guy called them. Yeah, they're partners. So yeah, this is honestly not as bad as everybody made it out to be. It's kind of it's honestly it's moved from, oh my god, how tone deaf, into it's kind of funny that they triggered Uber Eats thing. The other thing that's really stupid though is a $10 Uber Eats voucher where they're like, hey, buy a coffee or a snack. Like, I don't think that covers it. given how much Uber Eats charges for fees, and you have to do you don't have to do a tip, but if you don't do a tip, then you're kind of an asshole. So you have to do a tip as well. Like, I don't think $10 buys a coffee on Uber Eats. That's the stupid thing. I think like if you're just buying a coffee, I'm pretty sure it's probably closer to like $12, $13, $14 if you include all the fees. So yeah. But again, to reiterate, because I don't want to be a source of spreading misinformation, they did not do this for their customers. They did not go to their customers who just lost millions and said, hey, here's a $10 voucher. That didn't happen. That never happened. No customer has said that. They've all been very explicitly employees and partners, which is actually, it's a nice gesture for their employees and partners. Probably should have been something other than Uber Eats. If they want to give you coffee, why don't they just give you like a fucking Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks gift card, But that's what happened today in the new CrowdStrike stuff. So we talked about the main the main issue on Monday. Today was the oh god, what the fuck? Why aren't they testing stuff? What? And I don't know. Friday, who knows what's going to happen? Like, anyone want to take any bets on what we're going to hear comes out on Friday? Because they still haven't really told us, other than saying that the bug was, what do they say? An out-of-bounds memory read. They haven't really told us any information about how this got, why this wasn't caught earlier. Dunkin' or Starbucks is probably more valuable than 10. Yeah, I mean, it is. Arguably, it is, because, yeah, even a Starbucks, like, you'd be hard, even with Starbucks, the whole meme, Starbucks being expensive, it's difficult to spend $10 in Starbucks on just a coffee. Like, I'm sure you can actually do it, but it's, like, even their most expensive fancy coffee is probably what, maybe $7 or $8, I imagine? I know, I drink at Dunkin' all the time, so I know you can get a decent coffee at Dunkin' for, like, $3 or $4, so... if you want to go fancy, it gets up to like 5 or 6. But Dunkin' is generally cheaper than Starbucks. But yeah, that was that. My camera hasn't crashed either. We've been streaming for an hour, an hour, and it hasn't crashed. I think I fixed the problem. Hooray! Thank you, Ali, for helping. Just basically be a troubleshooting board I could throw ideas against on Monday evening. I'm more surprised they wrote a boot start driver but didn't implement a simple check if something the driver did crashed and they don't load it on the next boot. So I think the issue with that is because you're at the kernel level. If something crashes the kernel, you don't have any way of writing to notify on the next boot that something went wrong, right? This is where we're going out to like me doing like dev work and understanding how to push stuff from staging to production, because I work with a lot of customers and we test in staging. Like most of the pen tests I do are testing in staging, so I understand that kind of bit. I am less knowledgeable about how the whole kernel stuff works. But you can write when it's successful and when it's updated. I guess. But then you got the issue of like, okay, what about stagnation? Like if you write when it's successful and like a month goes by, and do you remove the file at some point? Like it's complicated. Common practice for non-essential boot start drivers. I mean, if you say, I believe you then. If you say so, then that's freaking insane that they didn't do that. Although I wonder if that would be a way to potentially defeat Falcon. as an attacker would be to purposefully try and crash it so that it doesn't start on reboot. That'd be interesting, actually. When is it a good idea to take a break? Like, from what? What's the context here? Should probably go back on webcam. I didn't really have anything planned for this stream other than summarize the CrowdStrike stuff, so we can potentially do some stuff. I don't really mind. We can just sit here and chat. Really up to you guys what we do. Because again, no real plan here. I'm absolutely fine just chatting. If we want to do something else, we can. I got a message. Oh, okay, cool. Highlights for Defcon, as in the stuff I'm looking forward to the most. That would be... Oh, there's so much, to be honest. Obviously, the 2 contests I'm running. I'm very much looking forward to doing those. I'm nervous as heck, but should be good. What else? Going to a few talks. A few of my friends are giving talks, which is really cool, so I'll go be seeing those. Just generally, honestly, meeting up with a bunch of people. Like, Defcon is a huge social event. And I just, honestly, most of the fun you have at Defcon, at least most of the fun I have at Defcon, doesn't even happen really at Defcon. It's more that we just happen to be going to Defcon and we find new friends and we, you know, spend a lot of time drinking at the bar and, you know, going to watch shows. You know, there's magic shows in Vegas that are great. Going to restaurants, eating good food. Just a lot of, you know, it's a big social event. When you only have control of the system, but then the entity doesn't allow games to start, essentially the system preps to crash the driver. EDR is useless if they already have system. Yeah, true. I've been thinking of buying a Raft and watched a game where you played it and liked it, so I bought it and suddenly realized 6 hours have passed. I know, right? More people should play Raft. It's such a good game. It's an old game, but it's so good. Go to Defcon, spends all time in pub. I mean, it's not... That's not an unrealistic summary of most people's Defcon experiences. It's a hugely social con. That's the thing. Because like, yeah, I mean, you'll walk around the villages, but you know, even some of the villages get boring after a while, and you know, you'll maybe go see 3 or 4 talks if you can get into them. But a lot of it is honestly you'll find new people to like make friends with. You'll go hang out with them. You'll go drinking with them. You'll go to meals. You'll go to the Defcon parties. You'll meet even more people. Like it's a big social thing. It's so crowded. I don't think it's going to be as crowded this year, mostly because of the new venue. Maybe I might be wrong about that. Happy to eat my words after, but I have a feeling it's going to feel less crowded because the venue is basically 1.5 times the size of Caesar's Forum. So I have a feeling it's going to be nicer to walk around. Also, it really helps that it's at one venue this year because honestly, even though walking between the hotels wasn't bad, some of the hotels just aren't really... They don't have layouts that are very convention-proof. Like, the Flamingo... I think it was the Flamingo. Upstairs at the Flamingo is basically one gigantic hallway that, like, curved back and forth in, like, a massive elongated S shape. Like, it's... So if you can walk all the way from the entrance all the way to the end of that thing, and then to get back you have to walk all the way back to the entrance again. Like, it's insane. It's not a good place to hold any kind of convention. like at least at Caesar's Forum, it's like it basically has like a Manhattan layout, right? So there are like corridors in the middle between all the halls, right? And if you look, I don't actually they have released the maps, haven't they? Maybe they can I is the Hacker Tracker app, does it have the map? Maybe it's on the subreddit. Hang on. Vegas Duluth is pretty toasty. Yeah. I'm trying to find the map. Anyone chat know if they got a link to the actual map? That'd be great. I know it's on the Hacker Tracker app, but I want to like display it on the screen if possible. Maybe it's at the Defcon website. Maybe I should actually just go visit the Defcon website. Saying a Venetian because all the closest ones are full. Yeah, honestly, I would get an Uber. Or potentially you could walk to the oh, what's it called? Monorail.
New subscription received. Dispensing gratitude.
Thank you, Nefarious, for this
Gratitude
subscription.
dispensed.
24 months, 2 whole years. Thank you so much. Alright, I'm just trying to look for the map. Oh, you got the map? Okay, yeah, let me open this. Wait, that's Defcon 30. That's not the right venue. Hang on, I wonder if I've got... Defcon 32 maps. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I found one. I don't know if this is good, but... Oh god, this is terrible. PDF. There we go. This is what I wanted. All right, we got it. We got it. We got it. All right, here's the map. That's F11. This crap. Here is the map. So there are 3 levels. So basically, this is the ground floor, and then you have over this section, you have level 2 and level 3. All right. So already, nice layout. So you got the south entrance up here. I believe you've got north lobby entrance as well. So you got two different entrances minimum. I think there's probably more. But yeah, you've got the main talks, track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4 happening here. You have a bunch of villages, right, in the rest of the sections. You have vendors over here. You have contests over here. More villages. You have a few bars, right? So that's, and there's a whole food court section as well. Water stations everywhere. This is what I'm saying. Bring a water bottle and fill up the water stations. Level 2. Oh, crap. What the fuck? There we go. Level 2. More villages. Official merch from... I don't know. I know this is where you actually get the merch on day 1. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, merch as well. More villages. More villages. Demo labs are up here. War story section over here. Right?
Thank you for following.
So, to give you an idea, because I know... So, because Feet Feud is happening on track 1, track 2 stages. Right? To give you an idea of how big this is, okay? This track, just track 1 alone has seats for 1,500 people. Okay? So, to give you an idea of the scale of this map, this thing here fits 1,500 people seated, plus the stage, plus the people on the stage. Okay, so this entire area down here is 6,000 people. Okay, just to give you an idea of how big we're talking, because obviously this looks quite small. This is quite a lot of people. And so Feet Feud, for some reason, they decided it has... Technically, we could fit 3,000 people. 3,000 people could come watch Feet Feud. All right, if they want to. So Feet Feud is down here, track 1, 2, on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Local time. The Man Pages competition, my other competition, is on the North Lobby contest stage over here. And this might look tiny. This still has room for 130 people. Okay, seated. So, yeah. I think we're going to be fine. I think Defcon is going to be fine. The other thing to know about this is the West Hall. The LVCC is massive. The West Hall, I believe, is something like 750,000 square feet of actual space. So it's bigger than that, but the actual space you can have for stuff is 750,000. The entire Las Vegas Convention Center is 2.9 million square feet of usable space. So I think the reason this is a really good venue is Defcon can grow here. Defcon was already reaching breaking point at, because the fact is, even at Caesars Forum, we had to use 3 other hotels for just the conference. Here, we have far more room. And we're not even using a third of it. So yeah. Defcon, I love to hang out with a bunch of nerdy cringe lords who think they know it all. Okay, buddy. First time chatter, let's just ban you. that's a spicy take. Someone who's never been to Defcon never understood. Defcon's amazing. There's nothing bad to say about Defcon. I refuse to hear it. But anyway, here we go. What's the time limit? I don't know, honestly, because obviously the Defcon parties, a lot of them happen in the evenings. I don't know what time it opens. I assume it opens early. Most of the villages will open at 9. And most of the talks happen at 9. They start at 9. I don't know. I know most of the villages close at 6. But I don't know how long the hall is open after that. It might be open for ages. Come to the IoT. I'm going to go visit most of the villages. I usually make my rounds. Probably on Friday. So Friday, Man Pages, I believe, is at 12 p.m. It's midday. So I'll be there. I'll be there from 11, setting up. And before that, I'll probably have gone around and looked at a bunch of the stuff as well. And then after that as well. But yeah, actually, I guess, because technically on Saturday, Feet Feud is starting at 6:30. And then so it ends at 7:30. And then at 8 p.m., it's the Hacker Jeopardy for 2 hours. So on Saturday, this place is open until at least 10 p.m. because of contests. If you go alone, it'd probably be worth it. Yeah, absolutely. But also, if you are going alone, there is the Lonely Hacker Club, which I will link to here. So if you are ever going alone to a convention, especially Defcon, go to the Lonely Hacker Club. It's basically set exactly up for you. It's so you can meet up with other people who are literally experiencing Defcon alone. You can meet new friends. They actually, I believe they have a village this year. I believe their village is somewhere over here. Or if not, it's like Lonely Tag, right? It's like a contest. I think the Lonely Hacker Club do these ones. Although I think they do have a room. Maybe it's in one of the others. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. I knew it. I knew I was right. So they even have a room here. Lonely Hackers Club community. They have a chill out room. You can go meet with them. So that's kind of cool, right? So obviously some of the stuff you'll want to see. Obviously Defcon merch is good. I'll be going to get my Defcon merch very early on the Thursday. AppSec Village, obviously. AppSec Village's best village. Okay. AppSec Village's best village. Second best village is New Village, Bug Bounty Village. Alright. I know a few of the people who are running the Bug Bounty Village. So, best village, AppSec, obviously, clearly. I mean, I'm biased, but still, best village. Second best village, Bug Bounty Village. Third best village, where are you? Probably downstairs. No, there we go, Red Team Village. Look, they put all the best villages together. You can go from the best village, you can just walk, oh la 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 la, to the second best village, la 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 la, to the third best village. Look at that, it's all in one area. Packet Hacking Village is also great. What else? Anything up here that I can see? Alright, nothing there. Let's just go down here. Social Engineering Village is great as well. Blacks in Cyber Village is awesome too. Blue Team Village, check them out if you're a blue teamer. I don't generally go to this village, but whatever. Okay, what else have we got? The Physical Security Village, I believe that's... No, lockpicking is over here. Physical Security and lockpicking, having them at different places is kind of weird, but the lockpicking village is amazing. This is one of the best villages. AI Village is new, I believe. That's kind of cool. Quantum Village, no idea what that is. Those might be interesting. The Car Hacking Village. Yeah, there we go. Car Hacking Village is always kind of fun because they actually have a bunch of cars. But yeah. Didn't get to experience the merch line. So here's the thing about the merch line. The merch line is actually the LineCon. So yeah. People like they've actually sorted out the badge situation quite well. Last year at DEF CON, I got my badge in half an hour. And then I went to the merch line and then I was in the merch line for 3 hours. This year I'm going to the merch line first. I actually have to because I can't actually pick up my badge until later on Thursday. because I have contest badges. So technically speaking, I don't even have to pick up my badge on Thursday morning. So I'll be heading straight to the merch line, which means hopefully if I can get to the merch line quicker, that means I should spend less time in it. Do you ever participate in the competitions or puzzles? I don't. I might at some point. So here's the thing: like some of them are. I probably might next year, I guess. I think that's the thing with Defcon. You kind of have to plan your Defcon, and especially if you want to do a lot of the puzzles or a lot of the contests, you really have to plan. Like if you want to do the red team CTF, right? If you want to do the red team CTF and you actually want a chance at winning it, that is your entire Defcon right there. Okay? That is it. That is all you will do. Because it's such a competitive thing that you'll just be doing that the entire time. So that's not really me. I don't think I'll ever do the red team CTF. But you know, some of the other contests, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm running 2 of them, so I guess it does make sense. I want to do the scavenger hunt at least one year. I'm not going to be able to do it this year. It's just my Defcon's jam-packed. Next year, I might try the scavenger hunt. Do you have to get your badge to get merch? I have been told no. That might just be because I'm a contest person, though. So I don't take what me... Like, I was talking to the basically one of the organizers, and I was like, well, if I want to get merch, do you need your badge? And she was like, no. So I was like, okay, cool. But please don't take that as, oh, this year you don't need your... Because I thought previously, in previous years, you did need your badge to get merch. And that might be the case for normies, right? It might be the case for humans. I am not a human this year. I am an inhuman. If you go over to... I go to this one, the Inhuman Reg. The issue is the Inhuman registration doesn't open till like 3 p.m. on Thursday. So when I asked, they were like, "Oh yeah, you don't need a badge." So I don't know if that means I'll just have to go up to merch and be like, "You have to get your badge," and I'll be like, "No, I'm a contest person," and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, go in then." I don't know, but we'll see. Oh, crap. Anyway. The exhibitors and the vendor areas are always good as well. So that's pretty cool. The Vortex Bar. This is their attempt at making a circle bar from the link. So yeah. That'll be interesting. I think a lot of us are still going to just go to the link. I'm not even staying anywhere near the link, and I feel like I'm just going to be at the link a lot. The link just feels like Defcon to me. Even in the COVID Defcon, when it was at Bally's and Paris, we spent a lot of time at the link. I don't recall them checking my badge in the merch line. Maybe I forgot. Possibly, I don't know. I've always heard that you need, like, that's, I mean, maybe that's just because it's the way it was set out, like the everyone goes to get their badge first, I guess. But yeah, I've been told pretty explicitly you don't need your badge to get merch, but again, that just might be me. So honestly, I'm gonna go get my merch first just because I have to. But to be honest, next year I'm probably just gonna go get my merch. Because the merch line takes forever, and the badge line does not. Anymore, anyway. However, I probably next year, hopefully I'm never going to pay for Defcon again. Because if I can just every year submit a contest and get the contest approved, especially since I got 2 this year, they're bound to hopefully give me another one next year, if not both. Then that's my Defcon paid for. Because something I did not realize until ridiculously late, which I mean 2 weeks ago, is that if you are approved for a contest, you get free badges for everybody who's involved with your contest.
Thank you for following.
So I got 5 free badges. So I managed to get 5 of my my friends who are running the contest with me. Sorry, 4 of my friends to get free badges to Defcon, which is kind of nice. Can you explain that? What odd the contest? What do you mean, what odd the contest? Where did you find the Defcon map? I googled for it and then I found a link.
New subscription received. Dispensing gratitude. Gratitude dispensed.
Okay,
You doing a meetup at Defcon?
Malicious Serial, thank you for resubscribing for 14 months. I'm doing many meetups at Defcon. So if you're at Defcon, just look. Honestly, follow me on Twitter. That's probably the best way to get in contact, or at least see where I'll be. I'll be announcing pretty much which things I'm going to. What's the contest? Contests, like in generally, contests are basically, I mean, they're contests. They're things that people can go to participate in and win prizes. There are a ton of them. Like over here, the blue area is the contest area. So some of them are CTFs, right? This is a cracking competition at the Password Village. The top pinball high score contest, I imagine that's what it says. I don't know what some of these contests are, to be honest. There's a Hack the Box CTF. So these are all contests that are kind of just happening all the time, and then there are specific contests which are on a specific time, right, on the schedule, and mine are that. So my man pages competition, which is basically about software documentation, is over here on the contest stage, and that's happening at, I believe, 12:30 p.m. on Friday. But honestly, go to the Hacker Tracker. And then on Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m., down here on these 2 lovely stages, track 1 and track 2, that's my Feet Feud contest, which is basically just Hacker Family Feud with a funny name. So this is my main contest. But yeah, other contests that like that, basically at a specific time. Hacker Jeopardy is one. Whose Slide Is It Anyway is another. There are a few, but you can always find them in the Hacker Tracker. You go to the Hacker Tracker and go to the types of events and just click contests. You'll see all the contests on the schedule. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, as for meetups, honestly, if you want to meet up, you obviously come to my contest. That's the easiest way because I'm guaranteed to be at those at a specific time. And if you come up to me afterwards, I'll definitely say hello. You're more likely to get a conversation out of me at Man Pages, which is the one on Friday. And that's mostly because after this one on Saturday, I do have to rush off for a bit. But I will be then, after that, I'll be at the Jack Rysider Masquerade Ball. So I'll definitely be going to that. But yeah. Cool. Are there any other beginner immediate friendly CTFs going on this year? I don't know. I imagine the Hack the Box one must be quite beginner friendly. AppSec Village sometimes do a CTF. The AppSec Village CTF is probably good. Yeah, the Rysider Masquerade Ball is going to be good. All right. Any other question? What else can we discuss? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Filter. Oh my god, this is crazy. Okay, the web. Do not use the web app. The web app is not that good. The mobile device is better. What is this? Last year was my first year. I barely got to meet anyone but John Hammond, mostly just getting the layout down. Thank God it's all one up with everyone. Yeah, exactly. For sure. Yeah. It's pretty big. It's chaos, to be honest. But yeah. It's such a fun time though. I absolutely love Defcon. Defcon is that you know that you got that one conference you'll never miss again. I think Defcon's that. Like I'm always down for Defcon. I don't really mind how packed it is. It's a guarantee I'm going to see like most of my hacker friends. So, you know, it's that one that I'm always going to go to. What are the things you should 100% not do while there? Walk outside for long periods of time. Yeah, it's hot. It's August. It's a desert. Even so, there's a promenade outside the Link Hotel with a lot of shops and a lot of restaurants. Very nice. A lot of great stuff there. And they basically spray misted water down at you while you're walking. It's still hot. I still won't walk that promenade for very long. It just gets ridiculous. Yeah. What else? What else not to do? There's this whole thing about don't bring a burner phone. Don't bring your real phone. Don't bring a laptop. It's bullshit. You know, just practice good security. Don't just randomly connect to random Wi-Fi networks, right? But it's fine. You can bring a phone. You can bring a laptop. Just don't be an idiot. Right? That's the other thing. I've gone to Defcon every single year. I've gone to Defcon. I've brought my phone. I've brought my laptop. The only thing that happened was last year, that stupid the stupid Bluetooth thing on iOS. Right? Someone was just going around and they were like, they weren't denial of servicing anything, but they were like just making it pop up. It was really annoying, but everyone just turned off their Bluetooth. So yeah, turn off your Bluetooth, turn off your Wi-Fi, but you know, don't do stupid stuff on your phone. Don't do stupid stuff on your laptop. You know, it's fine. It's basically I feel like it's a way to scare newbies. So yeah. What other things not to do? Do not abuse, harass, etc. the goons. Okay. Don't abuse or harass anyone. I feel like that should probably be what I said. But like, the goons are there to make sure everyone has a good time, and if they're telling you can't do something or telling you have to go this way, just do it. They know way more. Oh, you'd be surprised. A lot of people get pissed off because they feel like the goons are like, you know, just being annoying, and they're generally not. So yeah, don't mess with the goons. At the same time, though, if you have a good reason to be pissed off at a goon, report them. All right? Defcon has a zero tolerance policy on harassment, and that applies to their goons. Last year, 2 goons got removed permanently from the convention. Okay? For stuff they did. So, if a goon is telling you that you can't do something, right, then listen to them. If a goon is giving you actual instructions that, you know, you'd expect a person trying to run a convention to give you, then go along with that. But if a goon is making you feel uncomfortable, if a goon is actually harassing you, then report them, because they will get kicked out. Defcon give no fucks. Defcon will kick out goons as easily as they kick out any other person at the convention. It's why it's one of the best conventions. Because they have a zero tolerance policy that applies to literally everybody there. So, yes, don't mess with goons, but also do not let goons actually harass you. That is bad. Please report it. Please report anyone who is harassing you at the convention. They will get kicked out, I promise you. What else? Trying to think. This is probably goes without saying. If somebody in the street while you're walking around approaches you and tries to give you one of their CDs, don't even take it. If one of the scantily dressed women walk up to you and try to get a photo with you, just keep walking. As soon as you basically let them stop you, they will... Sometimes they'll put like a handcuff on you, and then you have to like pay them to get it. It's a whole racket. It's awful. But it goes without saying, just, you know, a lot of them are scamming. So, you know, just be wary of that. The best advice for dealing with Defcon outside is don't be outside for that long. And if you have to be outside, keep walking. Handcuff. Yeah, there are girls dressed up as police officers, and they will literally handcuff you. And then they'll make a big fuss about it. And, like, obviously, you know, if you threaten to get the actual police, they'll uncuff you. But a lot of people get uncomfortable, and they will basically demand money to unhandcuff you. It's a ton of... It's awful that it happens, right? But, yeah, it's just keep walking outside. And try and... The other thing to know is... Honestly, most of the casinos on the Strip, you can just walk through. So, if you look at Google Maps, and the Google Maps is telling you to go just down a street for God knows how long, right? But there are casinos on the right. Just walk through the casinos. Nobody's going to stop you. Brought a Sparrow's lockpick sec. Attack on my first go, I'll just pull that out. So, actually, okay, here's the thing about lockpicks in Vegas that you probably should be aware of, and this is not something that's ever happened, and it probably won't. And it's weird because obviously Vegas is like the lockpicking village is the biggest lockpicking village I've ever seen at a hacking convention. It is technically illegal in Nevada to own lockpicks. Well, not own lockpicks. It's technically illegal to have lockpicks on you. It's a weirdly written rule though. Basically, if you're found with lockpicks on you, the police can kind of just assume that you're trying to break into something and commit a crime, and they can arrest you for that. Even if you have lockpicks on you for a good reason, unless you're certified. If you're a certified locksmith, then you're fine. But basically, in most states in the US, if you're found with lockpicks, they can't just be like, you're found with lockpicks, those are breaking entry tools, therefore I can arrest you because I suspect you of breaking and entering. They have to basically already have evidence that you were planning to break and enter, or they have to find you breaking and entering in order to arrest you, right? In Nevada and a few other states, just having lockpicks is enough for reasonable suspicion, okay? But I don't know of anybody who's actually been arrested like that, and the fact that there's a massive freaking lockpicking village at Defcon every year, I highly suspect it's not that big of a deal. But I don't generally carry around my lockpicks in my pocket while I'm walking outside. I'll just have them in my bag if I'm taking. But yeah. So I'll be bringing some lockpicks. I'm not going to bring my massive case this year. I'll probably just get the best lockpicks and put them in a smaller case that I have. But yeah. That's my advice for lockpicks. Probably don't put them in your pocket. Maybe put them at the very bottom of your bag, right? And, you know, try and not get stopped by the police. Any other questions about Defcon? Because I haven't been going that long. I've been going three years. This will be my 4th year at Defcon. Mostly because, honestly, like, it's weird. Like, you always hear about it, but then you're like, oh, what am I missing out on? And then you go, and you're like, oh, crap, I should have been going all this time. So, yeah. Credit card pick set in my wallet. I don't know. If you can, like, that's the thing. Like, are they going to check inside your wallet? Maybe. Are they going to think it's lockpicks? Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, ironically, probably carrying around an angle grinder in your bag is less suspicious than carrying a lockpick set for some stupid reason. But yet, Cordis explains very sharp toothpicks. True. Alright. I'm covered in freaking fluff. Alright. Is anyone streaming? No, it's not Cheeto Dust. We got Hax Hobgoblin. I feel like I've seen them before, but maybe not. How long have they been? They've only been streaming an hour. Yeah, I have seen them before, actually. So they're doing a hack the box machine. What's BreakSec doing? Well, his stream is labeled $10 gift cards. How much are customers really worth? I hope somebody corrected him on that. He's been streaming about an hour as well. All right, let's raid Hax Hobgoblin. Under the door tools, are those illegal in Vegas? I personally wouldn't. That's all I'm saying. All right, any other questions before we raid? I'll fix the camera angle for the next stream as well. I don't know when the next stream will be. It might be on Friday. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If there's new CrowdStrike news, lovely. Yes, absolutely. Definitely meet up with me in Vegas. Honestly, follow me on Twitter for announcements. Join the Discord server. You'll see it on the screen in a minute, actually. Maybe I'll put the stream in up. Join the Discord server because then you can actually just @ me. All right, maybe we'll create a new channel in the Discord server, for people going to Defcon. But yeah, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and obviously give me a follow on Twitch if you're not already following me on Twitch. Let's set up the raid. All right, raid's been creative. Good. That's how Rice how to do it. Yeah. I'm not in his Discord. I didn't know he had a Discord, actually. That's kind of funny. All right. Well, everybody say hi to Hax Hobgoblin for me. And, yeah, we will... I'll see you when I see you. But appreciate everyone sticking around today for the stories and the breakdown of the CrowdStrike stuff. Hope everyone has a great rest of the week. And I will see you next time.